Listen up, I got a lot to say. Straight talk all day, every day. We talk about them games that you play as LeveledHead and Kbomb on the MIC. Straight talk, 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 straight talk.
What's up, people? It's your boy LeveledHead back with another Straight Talk. I got my partner in crime, or in goodness, I don't know, or gaming, however you want to put it.
Kbomb20, what's up, y'all?
So, yeah, man, we back to talk. It's been a minute since we done Straight Talk, so, you know what I'm saying, we wanted to come back and get in y'all guys' face before our ears, before E3. And, of course, E3 is not only, well, how long is it away? About a week and a day?
About a week and so.
A week and a day. You know, Sunday will be the start of a week, and then the next following month. Yeah, so a week and a day away.
It's on.
It's on. So,
yeah.
With that being said, you know, we thought we'd jump on and get in y'all guys' ears for a second. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, we're going to do a short one today because we have a big podcast planned prior to E3. We're going to have some people y'all probably ain't ever even heard of. Come on, we're going to have Kbomb back. We're going to have Mr. L live. We're going to try to have Triforce Johnson if he can make it. We're going to have John Shaw. We're going to have Torrance Davis. Y'all ain't never heard of Torrance Davis as far as hearing him on Live and Level Gamers podcast. But I'm trying to have Red Knight there, maybe some other people, man. I don't know. I'm kind of kicking folks.
Jam-packed.
I'm trying to jam-pack it, bro, so we can go in on, you know what I'm saying, E3, what to expect, our thoughts from each of the major three, contenders in this game and business, you know what I'm saying. And we're going to try to, you know, we're going to attempt to talk some PC stuff since Torrance Davis is a PC elitist. No, I'm just playing. Anyway,
Master race.
So we're going to probably hear some PC talk. We're going to probably hear some of everything in that podcast, predictions, you know what I'm saying, I don't really care who's going to win. That don't even mean nothing to me. But who's going to make the biggest splash? That's the only thing that means something to me. And I guess that entails winning in some people's minds. But anyway, so with that being said, let's jump right in this thing. Kbomb20.
Yo.
What you playing, dog?
What I'm playing? Well, as we speak, I just got through playing that MLB The Show for the PS4. Hey, yo, for the last, 5, 6, 7 years running, they have proven themselves over and over again that they are the best sports game, period.
Okay.
Minus whatever console you're playing on, it doesn't matter. If you have not played the show, I say please play this version of the show. They've done an excellent job with the graphics. They've done an excellent job with the gameplay. The gameplay is always top notch. These boys over there in Santa Monica know what they're doing when it comes to baseball.
So Santa Monica. So it's exclusive to the Sony brand, huh?
It is a Sony brand. It started off, I believe they got the developers from, I believe it was 99 is where they first developed the game from, and then Sony run the man and kind of made him a part of the studio, and then since then they've been producing top-notch quality sports game and baseball game. Probably the biggest reason why it's not as wide as known as other sports games, like you said, it's only for one console. But if you take that out of the situation and judge the game for what it is, it's no doubt that MLB The Show is one of the best, if not the best, sports game you can put in a console. I'm telling you, I'm addicted to this mode. I'm playing to the show role when you play just as your player. You just control yourself and you get the bat and field and whatever. And I think I'm in season 3. I just missed the All-Star game by like a few thousand votes, but it's all good. I'm winning Rookie of the Year. I'll be back next year. So I'm telling this game is dope. If you have a PS4, you got to check it out. Even if you're not a sports fan, it's good enough. It's a good enough experience that you don't have to be a baseball fan to enjoy this game. But that's what I'm gaming on. I got a couple other games I'm gaming on. I just got that Watchdog and some Infamous, but I know we're gonna dive in that a little bit later. But that's what I'm on right now.
So, like you said, people, if you own if you own a PlayStation 4, folks, go and cop that game.
Or if you're interested in buying a PS4, please buy for the best sports game, period. Come on, people. Enjoy it.
So, well, so I had to let folks know, you said, this is one of the best games you can put in, and, some people don't know that is exclusive. So, yeah, that's a Sony, that's almost like the game we're going to talk about later. But anyway, so since I asked you what you've been gaming on, I got to ask myself, hey, Level, what have you been gaming on? No. Man, I've been playing that Mario Kart 8.
But how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8?
It's actually more than that, bro. They leaving out, I think, one of them is out. They ain't counting one. They not including one. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a Game Boy version. I think it's more than 8. So anyway.
Okay.
But yeah. I'm playing that quality, that tried and true. But we ain't gonna talk about that right there because that's one of the games we're gonna talk about. But I will say this. It is probably the top-notch sports game.
You gonna take my word.
I'm just playing, man. Since it is competition. It's a competitive game. You can compete. So any game that has competition can be considered a sport. Esports, electric, what Triforce be saying? Electronic competitive gaming. I think that's how you.
I guess so. I mean,
but anyway,
you can compete in cheerleading. That don't make it a sport. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you can play simulations of baseball games, and that don't make.
Oh, come on.
I'm just messing. But anyway, so we'll talk about that later. But anyway, man, I'm telling you, it just feels good to be back on this mic with my boy. But yeah, and we're gonna get Mr. L Live back. He knows Mr. L Live sort of like Level, like myself. We go on long hiatuses. And you don't see Live until we do a live and Level game. He be straight up missing in action. But I be doing what he doing, man. He doing his thizzle. You know what I'm saying? Grown men do grown things, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's get it in, man. You wanted to talk about a game that's kind of, that's faded out of the public eye a little bit before we get into these other two. A game that you thoroughly enjoyed. That is also exclusive to the PlayStation 4. And we haven't talked since this game has came out, and you did purchase it, and we supposed to talk about it. So let us know how your thoughts on Infamous Second Son of Garbage, or what is that game?
Second Son, brother. Second Son.
Second Garbage, I don't know, something like that.
Let's try it out first. All right. What's up, my peoples? I know a lot of people listening right now. A lot of people listening right now are probably Nintendo fans because Level has a strong Nintendo following. I don't know why.
We gamers. No, let me correct you on that. We do got some streamers that I do cater more to the Nintendo side of things, but we got some LeveledHead gamers and Nintendo fans who do like Sony. If be honest with you, that'll probably be their second system of choice. But so they're interested in hearing your take because they like you. They see that you're a LeveledHead Sony fan. So let's go.
All right, I'm not gonna blow a bunch of smoke in your face. My job isn't to sell this game. That's Sony's job. I'm just gonna tell you the good, the bad about it.
And the ugly.
And try to be straight with you about this game. So, Second Son, if you've ever had a chance to play the first Infamous, I make sure I said first Infamous because if you play the second one, you understand why I said only the first Infamous. You would thoroughly enjoy this rendition of Infamous franchise. They went back to the roots when it comes to gameplay, and they've also extended some of the gameplay and some of the things that you actually did not like from any of the first two versions. Second Son by far is the best Infamous game, and to me, it is the best game I've actually played this year. And one of the reasons why I actually say that is very few games. I know a lot of games you have superheroes, you have these powers. Very few games have actually made you feel like you the man. Like you gonna blow up this whole city if you got to kill some people or take down the enemy. But Infamous does an excellent job of giving you enough tools, enough powers, enough space, and enough interaction to make you feel like you can do some work. And so this is one of the main reasons why I actually give a nod to this game, because it made me enjoy single players again. Because like Level was saying, I've been really big. I'm really big on competitive games. I play Madden. I play all the sports games. I play Call of Duty. I play Battlefield. I'm really big on competitive and sports games and stuff like that. And my single player catalog has been lacking, because I haven't really had a game that made me feel like it was worth spending time by myself just playing. But this game, and also it's been a while since I've actually had a game that when I come home or when I get some time, I'm wanting to play it. I'm like, I got to see what happened next. I got to blow up some more tanks. I got to take down some more enemies. And this game was definitely one of those games that made me want to keep coming back. Along with, when I'm talking about the storyline, the story is, I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said, I'm going to try to be straightforward. My job is to sell this game. I'm not going to do that. My job is to tell you about the game. The story is okay. It's a little on the thin side. His whole premise of why he's doing what he's doing is a little thin. The characters are perfect. If they could have came with a better story, a greater purpose of why the Second Son, Infamous, is doing what he's doing, it would got a 10 for me for story. But since the characters they do an excellent job of making you feel a part of the universe, the story kind of falls short. But and for me, I'm a big story person. I love story, and so it really kind of nudges me in the wrong way when the story isn't there. But the voice acting, the acting of the characters are top notch. It reminds you sort of how well Uncharted was done when it comes to the acting, and even the facial recognition is not the facial recognition. I'm sorry, but when you're talking and the voice and the words are matching the mouth, that's what I'm talking about.
I got what you're saying.
It looks very good, and I know the last video that we did, actually, I want to make sure I talk about that. We talked about some guy out there on one of the websites was talking about there was a downgrade in graphics and blase, and he had pictures to show detail. After putting this game in, I don't know if Level, someone can contest to it. He saw, I let him see a little bit of it. I did a little YouTube, a Twitch feed of it and showed him the gameplay and how it actually looks. Level, I'm gonna throw it out to you. Do you think, from what you saw of it, there was actually a significant downgrade, or even a downgrade of graphics from E3 into what you actually saw when I live streamed for you?
Well, I mean, I know a lot of folks at that time, and that that article came out about it being downgraded. A lot of people jumped on it, including us. We talked about it, but we did. But to be honest, seeing some of the posts on YouTube after that, I know YouTube actually not running at the same speed the actual game is, so I took that into account. And seeing what you showed me on Twitch, to be honest, just no, I couldn't see no difference in what we saw at E3 to what y'all got. So I would have to see it in person. But just going off of that, the graphics wasn't an issue. I don't even know why people even, at that moment it was worthy of talking about. But hindsight, it wasn't really nothing. It was just a bunch of nonsense for fanboys to pull their fanboyism out and show it to the world. So, but anyway, no, I didn't see no problem. It's a good looking game. I'll just be straight up.
It is, and the good thing about this is that it plays just as good as it looks, and that's a bonus for this game. And I do want to give a nod to the studio for Sucker Punch for producing this game. Like I said, I was let down with Infamous 2, and if anyone actually enjoyed Infamous 2, please leave a comment in the comment section explaining why you like Infamous 2 over Infamous 1. But I'm happy they got back to what they were known for doing, actually produce a very enjoyable game. And so I want to make sure I give a nod to Sucker Punch, thank them for making a great game. And like I said, it's probably one of the best games I've actually played this year.
Okay. All right. Well, people, that was, Kbomb's small, review, kind of.
Small review.
Of Infamous Second Crap. No, I'm sorry, Keith. I need to stop doing that. But Second Son, man, actually, to be truthful, we was having a discussion before we started recording, and, you kind of set it up when you was talking about how you judge games, how you, judge a game or a system. You was talking about you judge it based on if you would buy it, so go on and explain that.
Yeah. One thing I like to do, I like to suppress my fanboyism as much as possible when it comes to reviewing games and even looking at games. My mindset behind a game isn't what system is on, if I want to determine if it's a good game or not. My determination if something is a good game is if this game was on my system, would I still buy it? And, I think if people actually use that same mindset instead of immediately discounting the game because it's not on their system, because it's pretty much just hate is what it really is. Mm. Because if the game was on their system, they would be praising it and saying how great it is, just because the Sonic game was on the Wii U, I heard people screaming about it. It's still Sonic. They haven't produced a great game since, but I'm not going there. But
well, taking that set of how you explain that, Infamous Second Son, and I'm not an Infamous. You know this. I'm not an Infamous fan. I didn't like the first one. I thought it was kind of bland, and it really had no. To me, it had no character. You didn't fight it was just, you fought the same repetitive enemies over. You done a lot of repetitive things to traverse and get through the game. And so it kind of, when I first started playing it was real cool to slide on the telephone lines or the electrical lines. It was cool to get your powers, and I think, what's his name? Cole, was that his name?
Cole McGrath.
Yeah, Cole, and, Ball, he was Ball. You could jump off the buildings and float and levitate. All that was cool. Until about, I would say about 6-7 hours. Now, I won't even say that because I'm pretty sure the game was only about 15 hours long. But when I say 6-7 hours, that's me playing at my own pace. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll start a game, I'll put it down, pick it back up. And then when I play, I'm really traversing the game. I'm really not trying to beat it as quick as I can. I'm trying to find out all the nooks and nannies in the game. So my little few hours with the game, now I say I probably played it a total of 6-7 hours at the most. I got bored with the first one. The second one was kind of along the lines of the first one. But I won't lie, the third one, even though it reminds me of the first two, there's a lot of differences, and I would say a lot of it has to do with, the imagery, the graphics, and what the PlayStation 4 can bring to the game from a graphical, visual standpoint will make anybody that's a gamer, it will get your attention. Nobody can sit there in front and lie. And if this game was on the Wii U, I would probably cop it. So, by that notion, yes. I would, Infamous Second Son, if I owned a PlayStation 4, I'd probably own that game. If it was on the Wii U, I would probably get that game. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at games versus being fanboys, and trashing the game strictly because it's not on your system and your classic of choice. So, with that being said, let's move to the next game we have here on this list, which is me. You know what I'm saying? Since we talked about the PlayStation 4 and the Infamous Second Son, yesterday I went out and I picked up my reserved copy of Mario Kart 8. Now,
what?
Of Mario Kart 8, bro.
I said what? That's
Mario Kart 8. Anyway, so I went to Best Buy because I do not, support GameSpot. Or GameStop, I think that's, GameStop.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not a supporter of GameStop, you know what I'm saying? The last time I went in there, and this is why I stopped supporting them, and I didn't want to support them in the first place. I don't even like the people that's in there. They kind of the ones in my city got, funky attitudes. They act like, they act like you're on their time. Like my little $62 ain't put money in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's funny.
But they gave me a game. They had this happen twice, and this lost my business. They gave me a game unwrapped and sold it to me as new. And I told the girl, I said, that ain't new. She gonna say, it is new. It's just been on display. We use the box for the week. I said, ma'am, that is not new. I said, once you cut the plastic off the box, once you do that, that is not new product anymore. That is tampered with product. So you cannot sell it as new. But nowhere else had the game. And that was when the Wii U at first came out. I think it was actually Assassin's Creed 3. Nowhere else had the game. It was all, no one had any in stock. And I wanted the game. So I went on and I copped it. And they did that to me. I had another game on reserve. I can't remember what that game was, and I went in to cop it, and it was open, and I didn't even buy it. I walked out. I went across the street to Best Buy, and I copped it there. And I was listening to, I think, a podcast. I think it was a podcast where they was talking about one of the dudes. I think it was Nintendo News Report. I think that's what it was, podcast. They was talking about one of the guys who used to formerly work for GameStop, said, I don't know why anyone would go in there and buy anything because those games that they be opening up, they actually be playing those games and they be taking them home and trying them out. And then they repackage the game and sell it to you as brand new and then try to tell you that they just opened it up, for to put the case on the shelf. That's really not what they're doing. They're actually taking those games home. Sometimes, I'm not going to say all the time, but, sometimes they take them games home, they play them games. And then almost like when I used to work for Blockbuster, they used to let us take the pre-street rentals home, and we can try them out before they hit the shelf. And I could be watching, let's say Thor 2. I could be watching Thor 2 2 weeks before it hit the shelf because I'm unemployed. So that's why I don't support GameStop. You know what I'm saying? So anyone that go to GameStop and they giving you packages that's already open, that's probably what's going on. You ain't got a new game. You don't have a new game in your hand. But anyway, let's get into this Mario Kart.
My thing, let me jump in real quick. I'm just I'll let you go. The joy of buying a new game, the joy of peeling that plastic off of that game, how can you take that joy away from me?
You're robbing people. You're
robbing me.
So that when I bought the Assassin's Creed, that was like the most uninspired purchase. I was fighting with. I just bought something that didn't have plastic on it, and it was considered new. I paid full price for a piece of product or software that was open already. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's only a few things that I'm going to buy that's already, out the box or open. That's stuff that you got to assemble. I don't want to go through the hassle of assembling. So when I go buy, a barbecue grill or lawnmower, I buy the one that's already assembled, or a bike for my son. I buy the one that's assembled because I don't feel like going through the hassle of assembling it. But when I go buy software, I expect plastic to be around it, and I expect the plastic that it came to your store in to be around it, not you shrink wrap it and sell it and try to. And they do stuff like that too. They shrink wrap it. Dude, I can see where you melted this, man. When I buy stuff,
that's a shame.
When it comes to the store, they got no melt spots on it. It's seamless. But when I buy from you, it got all, they fold it. This is how you know it's brand new. The plastic is folded at the top and the bottom.
Yep.
When it's not, like we used to do at Blockbuster, we had some plastic, we put it in there, and then we get a blow dryer, and we shrink the plastic around the box. If you bought it like that, it means it was opened already. So, there you go. But anyway, let's get into this. Mario Kart 8, man. I put a video up of unboxing and somewhat gameplay. Kbomb, check it out. I sent it to you over on the on Skype, so you can check it out.
Yeah.
When you get a chance to, my boy Mr. Frosty lost his mind. People, it's the funniest thing ever. So go check it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do a little bit more, but my boy Mr. Frosty lost it. But to me, this game harkens back. See, a lot of people want to compare this Mario Kart to Mario Kart Wii, and it really don't compare. It really doesn't. This kind of reminds me of N64's Mario Kart.
My first love.
Right.
Mario Kart.
First love. The coin. If I'm not mistaken, you had to get coins in that one as well. Well, I know the original Mario Kart, it played off of coins, and I think the N64 one also played off of coins too. But the franticness of this one, and in the level, it's a little bit harder. It ain't just easy to jump in like the 150 level. You got the 50, 100, then you got 150, and that's the hardest level of competition. And I'm a Mario Kart fanatic, so of course I know how to play this game. You don't stop knowing how to play Mario Kart. When I bought the one for the Wii, put it on 150, jump in the game, I'm beasting, jump online, I'm beasting, right? You don't have to, the game ain't built off of gathering coins to keep your momentum up. Your turning corners and sliding and, all that is there, but it wasn't as significant in winning as it is in this game. And first thing I noticed was I wasn't as good as I thought I was.
Wake up.
Bro, I was recording it, dude. I had to pause the taping so I could go and kind of get my skills back up because I was getting blasted. I mean, just straight mopped. And but with that being said, to me, this one goes back to the N64 level. Anybody remember the competitive aspect of the N64 version of Mario Kart? All right, to that game. This game reminds you of that one. It leaps, or maybe some of the Game Boy Advance. Maybe go back to the one on DS2. That was real good. The DS one, and even down to the 3DS one, Mario Kart 7. But to me, this reminds me of N64's Mario Kart. It's thorough. The first thing you're gonna notice right off the jump is the graphics.
Wow.
Not to say that any other Mario Kart always been a decent looking game, but it wasn't nothing that just blew your mind when it came to visuals. It was always about the gameplay. That's the only thing that really made Mario Kart what it is, and still is. The staple of the game is the gameplay. You know what I'm saying? The way it feels, the way it controls, how tight it is, how the physics is, from a kart to a motorcycle. And then you got the option to put these type of wheels on it, all this, and it really changes up the physics of the vehicle you're driving. This game, man, the graphics hit you right from the word go. I mean, the visual quality in this game, dude, I kid you not, bro. I have seen a lot of pretty games. This is a pretty game. And the screenshots and YouTube videos and, all that stuff, it gives you, but to see it in person, to see it running 60 frames per second, not not dipping at all, everything in your face, it's fast. There's so much going on the screen. When you go into the to where you hovering and all that, and it looks. I remember they saying it didn't feel it feels totally different. It changes up the gameplay when you go from regular kart to your hovercraft. It's the way it controls the physics is totally different. It's just different. So my take, and it's only been a short time because when I bought it, I had just got off work, a little tired, so I really couldn't really get into it like I want to. But my initial take, dude, this is the must-have game. To me, this is the game for the Wii U.
I'm putting some stank on it. Okay.
Dude, I'm not.
Stank on it.
I was gonna go here. I'm gonna do this video. Excuse me. I'm gonna do a separate video from this Str8 Talk talking about this. And I'll probably post it next week. I know that, you know, Mario 3D World, Pikmin 3, Legend of Zelda HD, Wind Waker Remake, Donkey Kong, Tropical Freeze. I know these are top-notch quality games. And I know Mario 3D World, I keep saying Mario Kart, Mario 3D World helped generate system sales, which, you know, any Mario game would do. But to me, this is the first true, legit, no question, fan of the Nintendo products, Wii U fan, not a Wii U fan. This is the first must have. Like, literally ain't no must have game, dude. It's legit. Now, to me, the second one to that would be the 3D World. But I know that wasn't the Mario everyone wanted, including myself at the time. But after playing it, it lived up to the quality and the standard of what we expect from a 3D Mario game. But it wasn't the Mario that everybody wants, that Galaxy, that level Mario game, which 3D World, it paid homage to it, but it wasn't that. So I can understand people having trepidation or, you know, a little reserve is about picking it up. But this Mario Kart, oh my God, dude. Graphically, gameplay-wise, controls, everything you look and expect from a top-notch quality, seal of quality Nintendo first-party title, Mario Kart 8 sums that all up. Period. And I mean, dude, I don't even care what come out after this game. I'm good for a good minute, bro. I kid you not. I'm good for a good minute. And I know there's other stuff coming. But it's nothing I cannot say about this game. I mean, every aspect. I mean, the tracks are huge, dude. Vibrant. Living and live. You know, you know how you play games and they just be pretty much the environment is dead. Outside of the protagonist, it pretty much ain't a lot going on. You know how you gonna play those type of games?
Yeah, I've been there.
Dude, this game is alive, bro. It's alive, man. When you driving down the street, there's pigeons and crap all on the road just standing there. It's just stuff that ain't got nothing to do with what you're actually doing. Captures your attention. The attention to detail is crazy. The characters and their animations just catch your attention. Everything they do is just the small details, like when you can see, your character can see that something is coming, like if somebody behind them, they have an item or a weapon, like a red shell or whatever. Your character, just by watching the body language of your character, lets you know, and you might not, and your radar might not be showing any item, but your character's body language will tell you something coming or somebody behind me aiming at me. It's weird, dude. They will look, they will act certain ways, and it ain't nothing bad I can say about this game at the moment. Only thing that I think if Nintendo is wise, they will patch in at some point. We know Nintendo has an issue with patching, but I think they're turning the curve on that, is online voice chat. I think that will add a whole nother level.
No voice chat?
It's voice chat, but it's only in the lobby. So, and I haven't.
Can you talk smack?
You can talk smack before the race starts, and you can talk smack after the race is over. But during the actual race,
okay,
you can't talk. But I was sitting there thinking, man, and we're going to flow to this next game, you know, because I haven't gotten a chance to really play Mario Kart thoroughly. But my first initial take, dude, I'm blown away. But with the voice chat, I was thinking, man, you know, the Wii U controller has a camera on it. And so my thing is Nintendo could take this thing a whole nother step. They can literally let you have voice chat And they had this for another game. I think it was called Tank, Tank, Tank. But what they did on that was they took your picture, and your picture showed up above your tank, right? So when people was racing you, if you was getting hit or whatever, your face was distort or whatever. Nintendo can literally have your face on over your car when they can literally see your facial expressions. You know what I'm saying? While you're racing, so when people come up on you, they can see your, you know what I'm saying, if you worried or if, you know what I'm saying, you happy because you winning or you get hit, and you be like, oh man, they can literally see all that stuff live in race, you know what I'm saying, right there while the live race is going on. To me, these are little things Nintendo can add to even booster the, you know what I'm saying, the quality of this game and in other games as well, especially competitive games like a Mario Kart or a Smash Bros. I don't see it with Smash Bros as much because Smash Bros you're fighting, but with Mario Kart, having your face off on the corner, where people get to your cart, they can literally see your face, you know, your real face if you want to, you know, because you can't turn your camera off. Dude, that'd be so cool. And then allow you to talk smack with, you know, maybe not in the, you know, the national or the worldwide, but in your friends list, if you got a tournament, because you can set up tournaments.
That's tight.
I can set up a tournament. Say for instance, you know what I'm saying, you in my friends list, and, you know what I'm saying, Triforce, Mr. L Live, you know what I'm saying, John Shaw, you know what I'm saying, maybe some other cats. I'm just naming cats that be on the podcast with us. Say for instance, we all set up a time, okay, you know, Sunday at 5 o'clock, man, we gonna race. We set it up, and does everybody be there at that time, and you can, you know, you have your party. So to me in that setting, Nintendo could allow voice chat to be in game as well. I don't know why they didn't do it. You know, Nintendo is kind of quirky with that type of stuff.
Always, but online.
But hopefully, you know what I'm saying, they changed that and allow voice chat amongst friends. But outside of that one negative, I have to pull out one negative. But outside of that, there's nothing wrong with this game, bro. I mean, I kid you not. But I'll do a more in-depth, detailed analysis, you know what I'm saying, at a later date, cause I only had one day with it. But the initial
shock and awe.
Y'all, I'm telling you, go watch the video. Watch how my boy Mr. Frosty just lose his mind. But anyway, that's Mario Kart 8, worthy of the 62 with tax, you know what I'm saying, tax included. It's $59.99, but in my state, it's, you know, tax is 62.
Oh yeah.
It's very much worth it, and I think this game is selling like crazy because people couldn't even get their free download game because it was so crammed with people on the system. This game sold, bro. This game is selling. This game is really selling. So I'm gonna be shocked. I'm very curious of
the numbers.
The numbers, because I think Mario Kart is that game that will generate the sales and get the people to, you know, go ahead and jump over the fence and land on some grass with the Wii U, man. I really do. So anyway, let's move on. I think you need to go ahead and get a Wii U. I think it's a game that demands a purchase so I can wax and do that ownage that you have never gotten, because you are very competitive, but you've never met me in Mario Kart 8. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't Madden. This ain't the show. You know what I'm saying? This ain't NBA 2K14 and LeveledHead.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, Love.
He wipes his hands with the competition.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I do like my competition, you know. and you remember back in the old days, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know we was playing you guys several times. Me and Level go back a little bit. So back in the college days, we used to get at it.
Right.
On your car.
And I owned y'all then.
I don't. Let's not even go there. That's for a whole different podcast, brother.
I did, though.
Man, we're not going there right now. But it does interest me. It really does. I don't think it interests me to a point where I'm gonna go spend the money for one game. you got to give me a little bit more, but it does spark my interest. I will give you that. And if the PS4 had Mario Kart, I would buy it in a second. I do like those kind of shooters. I know I've said in the previous podcast, my favorite game actually wasn't Mario Kart, but it was a game that took elements of Mario Kart and kind of threw it into an adult setting. It was a game called Blur, which I actually played to death. I played till 3 o'clock in the morning several nights. But it was a nod. It was a nod to Mario Kart.
That inspiration. They even said they got they drew a lot of inspiration.
It really was, but it was a nice, mature version of it, and I, as my competitive nature popped in, I would play it for nights on end. I would find me a rival, and we'll go at it until one of us go to sleep. That's how you tell who lost, whoever went to sleep first. So, it sparks my interest. We'll see about it.
It's, like I said, it's worthy of a spark. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, we got one more game we're going to talk about. And I got some fussing I'm going to do, a little rant. But I'm going to let Kbomb, since he does have the opportunity at this time, you know what I'm saying, to play this game, because, they so nicely and respectfully decided to push this game back on the Wii U, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason, we don't know, but Ubi crap, or Ubi nothing, I don't know, Ubisoft just released Watchdogs.
Yeah.
And Kbomb, like myself, got it yesterday, or the day before yesterday. When was you hit me up?
Got it Thursday. That's when I started playing.
Thursday, okay.
Well, I played Friday, I think. Yeah.
Played Friday, but you got it Thursday, yeah. So he it's sort of like me with Mario Kart 8. It's still fresh. So, but we wanted to talk about it and kind of talk about what we've been hearing and seeing if some of that line up with his first take on, the game. So, Kbomb, let us know, man, what you thinking about Watchdogs at this moment.
All right, let me give you my initial breakdown of Watchdog. My initial reaction to Watchdog was, after going through the first cutscene and actually getting into the world, was, what am I doing? The game lacked very much in tutorial to kind of guide you into this world where you can control things with your smartphone. And even after getting into this world, there's still very little guidance on what you're actually supposed to be doing. The most confusing thing that happened is, you have your cell phone, you can pop up the profiler, which actually gives description and tells you about some of the people. Is that there's a lot of stuff going on in the screen without good guidance of how to utilize what you're actually given. And so the first kind of initial reaction to Watchdog is, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? Okay, what's the map? What's this red thing? What are these blue dots? What are these green dots? And so it's kind of the reason why I personally do not play open world games, because it's so much to do that you don't do anything.
I feel you on that.
I'm not a big fan of it, and it's kind of taking me down that path of why I don't play open world games. And just point for interest, Infamous is an open world game, but it has clear direction on what you're supposed to be doing, on what you need to do, even to further the story, or even if you want to do little side missions here and there.
It's kind of like with Infamous, how you describe it is even though it's open world, it got a lot of linear aspects to it, to where the path is pretty much obvious.
It leads you to where you need to be. It allows you to do what you want, but it will lead you to where you need to be.
Right,
next.
That's what I'm saying. It kind of got a linear aspect, because that's kind of like Zelda. Zelda, even though it's a big world, it's an open world, but I won't say it's on the line of a Grand Theft or anything like that. But there's a lot of detouring in a Zelda, but at the same time, there's a clear path to follow. You know what I'm saying? To where if you put it down, you ain't never you get lost on puzzles and a few spots trying to figure out the puzzle where you need to go next. But as far as the path that you follow, it's pretty straightforward. But kind of how you was describing Watch Dogs kind of reminded me of Grand Theft Auto, where you can if you veer off too much, you pretty much lost. You know what I'm saying? You get to playing around too much, it's kind of hard to remember. Exactly. It's kind of hard to remember what you're supposed to be doing next. But anyway, going back.
Exactly. So that's my initial reaction to this game is, and one thing I do have to say, when they first showed, I know we were talking about graphical downgrades when we were talking about Infamous, but when they first showed Watchdog and it had the wind blowing and all the stuff flowing past, at first E3, I forget what it was, 2011 or something like that, or 12, and they showed the first glimpse of Watchdog.
It was 2011.
Okay, that's good. And so then I look at this one and, it looks good, but I wasn't wowed like I was in 2011 when they had everything being interacted by the wind and everything flowing past, and then, even the tables and the stuff on the tables being blown by the wind, and your character was reacting to being blown by the wind. I didn't have that reaction to this game. The reaction I had to the graphics was, it looks good. I didn't have that, wow, man, that's amazing. So, it's not for an open world game, it actually looks good. It is hard to keep that high level of definition of details when you're working with an open world game because so much stuff can have detail. And so it looks good. I'm not going to hate on the graphics, but I wasn't wowed by the graphics as I thought I would be by looking at the first initial look of Watchdog.
Okay.
Based on the storyline is, like I said, I'm about a couple hours into the game. The story is kind of thin. Even the character is a little thin too, but it's an open world game, so you got to give it time to build. You got your character's time. This game is going to take some time to understand the universe and what actually is going on. As far as it goes with gameplay, the gameplay is smooth. The gameplay is smooth. Gunplay is nice. Traversing the universe is nice. They put a lot of little side things in here. It's a lot to do. It's a lot. It does remind you of Grand Theft Auto. There's a lot of little side stuff to do outside of the actual mission.
Right.
One thing I do have to knock on this game, the same thing I knocked on every GTA until GTA 5, is the controlling the car suck. I don't know if I need to level up, but because there's a humongous skill tree that they do a poor job of explaining.
It's Ubisoft, man. It's Ubisoft.
They don't explain the skill tree at all. And there's a progression tree they don't explain at all. And there's other little spots in the universe they don't explain at all. They expect you to go through the tutorial and read it yourself.
Stop right there. Now, y'all see that, though. That lets you know that this dude is a real gamer. What'd you say? The progression tree and what else?
Skill tree.
The skill tree? I wouldn't have said none of that. I'm a gamer. I'm a real gamer, but I don't play them type of games much, so I could care less. But I like how you point out them little, you know what I'm saying? That's a real gamer right there. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm going to give the game time. I'm going to give it time. I'm hope it develops to something that I will enjoy playing. But just the initial play of the game is, I'm kind of like, I would rather play baseball at this point, but I'm gonna give the game a try. I'm gonna try a little bit more. Maybe there's more, and I'm maybe stick to the story mode a little bit more. Give us more time. I do want to give them a hats off to Chicago. The city looks good.
Okay.
The city really, really looks good. I go to Chicago every year. Me and my wife, we take a trip to Chicago, so I kind of have an idea how it looks and how downtown Chicago looks and how they can't use some of the real names because they have to pay for it. But, and it's not to scale because then that wouldn't be fun either.
Right.
But looking at the city, man, from that standpoint, Ubisoft always has nailed the cities. Back when they were doing Assassin's Creed, they nailed the city. They do a great job of that. They do research. And so for that, I give them hats off for that. But, there's still some issues with this game, and I know we talked a little bit yesterday before we got on the air about the online problems. And I do have to say this morning, I got some time in this morning, the ugly online portion reared its ugly head, and I had the whole could not connect to the Uplay server this morning. And so it still allowed me to play my single player game, but I don't know if it didn't track stats or what happened, but I couldn't connect to the server this morning. So I don't know. I still need some time with it. I'm not as impressed as I was wanting to be, but like I said, this is still after a couple of days. This is an initial reaction to the game, and so I'm not as I can't sell it like my boy Level did with Mario Kart. I can't sell it like that because I'm not enjoying it to that level. So I'm gonna give it some time. Maybe next time we talk, a couple of weeks from now, I can come back and give you guys an update on my Watchdog experience. But right now, it's a big yeah. That's where I'm at right now. So.
Okay, with that being said, I haven't played Watchdogs, so I can't really add anything to it. So what else you got any predictions for E3?
Prediction for E3. Well, that's really a prediction because everyone sees that coming, but there's something I do want to see at E3. I would love to see what Sony is actually doing with their virtual reality. I want to see if is it going to be a fad, or is it going to be something that has some kind of something that's going to last, something that's going to actually impact the way I play video games. So I'm very interested to the fact that I really want to know, is Sony going to do something good with it, or is it going to just be another peripheral that no one's really going to use and no one really is going to care about? And so that's one thing I'm very excited about. I really want to see. I really want to see Uncharted. I'm excited about Uncharted. I really want to see what they're going to do for Uncharted 4 because to me 3 was okay. After the beautiful,
we talked about 3.
Yeah.
You know my feelings on 3.
Yeah.
3 I almost broke that disc. I'm not going to even front.
Yeah.
I still haven't finished 3. After I had went on vacation, and when I got back, I guess I didn't save. Now, you know how you go through that right before you get to the lost city. Spoiler alert. If you haven't played the game,
that's your fault.
Yeah. You know how before you get to the lost city?
Yes.
You go through the range. They poison them with that.
Go crazy.
Yeah. So everything is distorted as far as the visual, and it's kind of it's kind of nauseating, or how would you say that? Nauseating. There it is. I'm sorry, people. Sometimes I mess up words. But anyway, it's like a first-person shooter where it makes me get seasick.
Like kills them.
Yeah, so that part will always get to me physically. Like I didn't want to play through because it'll mess with my equilibrium and all that. As far as looking at it, I get dizzy and
word.
You know what I'm saying? So when I made it past that part, I wasn't looking to go back into that part. So I made it to the lost city. You run in, the gates open, the doors open, you run down the steps, and you get in there and you fighting the dudes in there that's disappearing and all stuff that they doing. Well, I go on vacation, and I get back, I pop it in to finish it, and I'm back in that little store area with the sickness and everything is distorted. I turned it off, put it back in the box, and I haven't popped it in since, bro.
Done deal.
But that to me, you hitting some old pains, you know what I'm saying? Because as far as the Sony PlayStation 3 and that franchise, I was a huge, especially with Part 2. You know what I'm saying?
Set the bar, man. They set
Part 2 set the bar for me. I don't care. I don't care if you're a Nintendo fan. I don't care if you're a Microsoft fan. I don't care. Uncharted 2. Honor Among is it Honor Amongst Thieves or No Honor Amongst? What is the name of that game?
Yes, something like that. I can't remember.
Dishonor, something like that.
I got it somewhere.
That game was it was the reason out in God of War 3. Those were the sole reasons I bought the PS3. So. But yeah, I am as well very interested in seeing what Uncharted 4 or whatever they're gonna call it is gonna be like. I had to second that notion. But go ahead, my bad.
All right, that's good. That's good.
I just went on semi-rant.
I do got a prediction. This one for you, for Level. I'm gonna give it a little bit. I got a prediction. It's about
before you go here. You know we got this other. You know.
Yeah. No. Right. Yeah, I know. This is just for you. For this right now. My prediction. I'm gonna throw this off the wall. I'm gonna get yelled at about this. Nintendo is gonna announce a new console. 2014. That's my prediction for E3. That's what I got.
Yeah, they're gonna announce a new console. It's probably gonna be that whatever that quality of life stuff is. So you right on that. It's gonna be something new, but it ain't gonna be nothing that's gonna affect the Wii U. But anyway, now they might announce something new. You know, what I'm saying, maybe a power booster for the 3DS. That's a possibility. I think there might be a possibility.
Yeah, it's a possibility
because it'd be nice, with the technology that is in the 3DS with the glass-free 3D.
Yeah,
if you get that up to either right under HD or at 720p quality, that'll do a lot for that system. So
yeah,
you might see something like that. I'm gonna go back to my prediction, because I don't really want to do this prediction with the big podcast we're gonna do. This was between me and you.
Oh, for sure.
And we kind of already talked about it, but I'm gonna be honest with you.
Go ahead with it.
And then I didn't do my Watchdogs rant. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let Ubisoft off I'm gonna let them off right now. I get them.
We got time.
Yeah, we get them. I go in on Ubisoft another day. But this is my predictions for E3. It's gonna be a very shallow. We ain't gonna go into big detail because we're trying to keep this short. We'll do that at another day. But I believe, and I told you this before, I believe that Microsoft is going to shock people with whatever they're showing this year at E3. I think Nintendo is going to turn heads with what they're showing at E3, and I think Sony doesn't really have anything to show. Remember, I told you that. I believe, and I'm gonna let you get in. I'm gonna let you jump in. We can have a short back and forth on this, and we can get out of here. But reason I say that is, so much has been happening with being a Sony fan and PlayStation 4 owner, you would have to know this information.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on behind the scenes.
There's a lot going on
over at Sony, and a lot of stuff going on that directly affects development.
Yeah.
And a lot of the studios that Santa Monica, the people who made Uncharted, who's those? What's that group? That's not Santa.
No.
Santa Monica makes God of War, right?
It's the same people that make Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah. Who makes? Well, I don't know all those development studios with Sony. I know a few other names, but anyway, all the major ones, all the ones. Naughty Dog, there it is. Naughty Dog has been hit severely with three of the top.
The writer, the head writer,
the head director, all the three big wigs over there gone. Santa Monica laid off a lot of people.
Yeah,
big wigs there gone. Yeah. These are studios that has the game that established the PlayStation 3 that made Sony shine in last generation. These were the games, Uncharted and the God of War series. The other games were good, decent games, but these two franchises were the franchises. Then they already announced the order, but they pushing the order back to 2015. So the order, even though they might show more of the order, is nothing new. It's not anything that we haven't seen or don't know about. So the excitement around that is already quelled because it's already known about. So my fear is that all this stuff going on behind the scenes has directly affected what Sony can show at E3 as far as tangible, not CGI, because they already said they're showing a CGI God of War. They let that back out. I'm like, why? So I'm looking at what Microsoft is doing. The price change with the Xbox One, removing the Kinect, making big announcements, and then kind of being quiet I don't know, man. I think Microsoft is gonna have a mighty blow to swing at the competition, and I think Nintendo and this digital direct is gonna really shock people with what the Wii U can do. I believe this will be the year that we see, what the Wii U from a power standpoint can do. And I think Mario Kart 8, the momentum that is created, and what Nintendo do at E3 is going to dramatically affect the fortunes of where it is today. And I think the sales going to change. But as far as the PlayStation 4, I believe, and like I said, I believe they're going to hit a bump in the road. I'm not going to say it's going to be a sustained bump, but I think they're going to go through the second portion of 2014 in a little woe stage, like where do we go next? That's where I'm thinking, but I'll let you respond to that, and we can go into more details on another day.
I'll respond to that a little bit. With Microsoft, the thing is, Microsoft has to come with something. It's kind of a desperate. When your back against the wall, you got to do something,
right?
And you got to splash. You got to make a loud noise, because the thing is, they have to win back the fans they lost.
True.
That's one of the biggest things for them. They have to win them back, because they lost a lot of true, I wouldn't say true loyal fans, because the thing is, the PlayStation 2 did the same thing. It's just repeating themselves. I'm sorry, the PS3, because there were a lot of loyal Sony fans during the PS2 age. And then when Xbox 360 came out, a lot of your Sony people who had the PlayStation brand kind of jumped ship and jumped over and joined the 360. And in the end, they started to equal out the PS3, and then the 360 sales started to even out. But that was years after the PlayStation was getting romped and getting stomped for a while by 360 sales.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of come back around, because Sony did a lot of stupid stuff at the beginning of the PS3, and thinking that just the name Sony alone could win them the console race. And that was a thing they learned from, and they got punished, especially the whole comment that next gen doesn't start until we start. It's a very cocky Sony back in PS3 days, and hopefully they learned their lesson. But Microsoft got trounced this first couple of months from next gen sales, and a lot of it stemmed from E3 last year.
Right.
Of how they came out, of how they introduced themselves, of how they just wasn't going to budge with the price. They were not going to budge with the Connect. They want to force you to do the DRM. They wanted to force you to be always online. They wanted to force you to do all this, and they had the same little cocky mindset Sony had, was like, this is going to work. We guarantee you. Just try it. And then everyone screamed, and then they said, okay, we're playing. We were just messing with you guys. And they kind of went back on everything they said. Mm-hmm. But the damage was already done. And so Xbox is on the point where they gotta make a splash. So I actually agree with you that they're going to make a splash, because I believe they have to. It's a desperate situation. Like you said beforehand, we talked about it. They got the money to do it. Mm-hmm. They got the grip to do it. Sony, they don't have the money to do it. They don't have the money to really jump out there and make that big of a splash. So I agree with you to a point where I say that Xbox may make a bigger splash than Sony, because I believe they have to. And like I said, Sony is going through some issues, but I don't see Sony really just sitting down and taking this as a chill moment, because you sold 7 million units, but Xbox isn't that far behind, and right. Wii U isn't that far behind. So to sit on your laurels will be a big mistake. And so I do see them, and I'm really excited about the VR, because I want to know, is it going to be something that's going to be worth my purchase, or is it not? And so I see Sony doing like that, but the thing is, just like the 360 had when it was making all the big bucks and selling all the units, well, we know the Wii sold more than everybody, but a lot of developers actually went to the 360 and made games for the 360, and you're seeing a lot of that when it comes to indie developers. I looked up some stats about the games that's coming out, all the games that's been announced for the 360, for the Xbox One and for the PS4, and there are what is that number? There is a big amount of number of games for the PS4 that's actually going to be exclusive than actually for the 360.
Right. The one.
I keep saying 360. Thank you, brother. The Xbox One. I think the number of exclusives was 17 as of right now announced for the Xbox One, and I believe the number for the PS4 was up to 28. Okay. And even more if you're looking at just console exclusive. There was 70 console exclusives to Xbox One's 11. And a lot of those we talked about are free-to-play games. Those are indie games. But the thing is, they're games for gamers. And so I don't see Sony doing too much. You know what I'm saying? I've seen them showing us some things, but, you know, they might leave some room for Xbox to go make a splash, but I don't see them sitting back on the laurels. I see them trying to keep the momentum and not lose it. And like I said, they're going to do that by trying to go with the VR. And I really would love them see them do a bundle, even with the PlayStation Eye, and keep it at the same price. That's one of my predictions. If they can bundle that PlayStation Eye, because you're going to need that with everything else that they're trying to do, bundle that with a PlayStation to show that, hey, you can do this Connect / thing at the same price. I think that will really help sales for the PS4. But and the Wii U is knocking on the door. Like I said, they get the momentum from Mario Kart. They can continue that into the holiday season, already having a year under their belt. They can catch up. But so Sony can't sit back on the laurels. They got to come out there and ready to play, ready to knock this out the park. So, like I said, I agree with you, man. I agree with you on a lot of things you said.
Yeah, and I got, like I said, I got some numbers to show folks, and I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna do that in another video, to where because I don't feel like it would be fair for me to have already did some research and crunch some numbers and some things to validate my stance, and then try to throw that, and then you got to sit there and try to, right there off the cuff, you ain't got a chance to research and look at some stuff to where you can, kind of counter some of my points. But I agree. I believe Sony doesn't want to sit on their laurels, but I think Sony really doesn't have a choice, not because they didn't have stuff in the works, but I think because of so much of the stuff that happened behind the scenes, it would have to have affected time frame. You know what I'm saying? We seeing it. It's and that's why I like talking to you, Kbomb, because being a Sony fan, me being a Nintendo fan, we also look at both these respective companies realistically. You look at the stuff that's before you, and you got to make realistic, logical takes from it. You know what I'm saying? If you see developers walking away, if you see games being pushed back that was supposed to come out at this time being pushed back to this date, and you seeing other games that were supposed to be like Drive Club, you know what I'm saying, all the different things that have happened, it's obvious something behind the scenes that we know a little bit about is affecting things. And it'd be crazy not to assume, and it'd be a good assumption that the development time for these games has been changed because of what's happening in these studios. So I think Sony gonna come out and they gonna probably, this is what I predict them to do. They probably gonna make some show some wheels, some CGIs and some, what they plan to do. But as far as having hands-on tangible where you can sit there and play right now, they not gonna have it. And I think Microsoft will. I think they're gonna have a Gears of War experience like with the 360 again. I don't know what game it's gonna be. It could be Gears of War, but they're gonna have that Gears of War game that's gonna change. It's gonna be beyond Titanfall. It's gonna be that game that really changes the perception and the way Microsoft and the Xbox One is viewed. And I believe Nintendo is gonna also have that game at their booth and in their digital event that's going to change the perception and how it's viewed. But I think Sony, I don't think nothing's going to change. I just don't think Sony's going to. Sony going to do one thing. He's going to maintain the momentum, which I don't think they can. I don't think people, because I think it's getting to the point where now it's going to be a proven stage. It's going to be based off of games. I think the hype train is slowing down. I believe the actual substance that's there, the software that's there is going to be going to prove whether this system is bought or not. Japan is already showing that. Unlike us and Europe, America and Europe, Japan ain't jumping on the PlayStation 4 bandwagon like that. They actually is not doing as great over there. And I'm thinking this because they missed the height of where America and Europe were at the time of the release of the PlayStation 4. I think that was missed, releasing in Japan later. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying about that. But the thing is, Xbox has to make a splash because
they have to.
If you look right now, they don't have anything for the fall. I mean, we can talk about PlayStation being barren, but if you look at, because Quantum Leap just got pushed out to 2015.
Yeah.
So they're just like the order got pushed out. It's the same. They're kind of in the same boat, but Xbox is in a worse stance because that's not a word, in a worse stance because they're behind. And so they have to splash with something that's going to come out in the fall because if you look right now, they don't have that game. I think the only game they have is the Sunset Overdrive game. I believe that comes out in the fall.
Right.
I think that's the only thing they have, which is exclusive to them. That's actually going to make a splash in this holiday season. So whatever has to be shown at E3, has to be playable, and it has to be ready by this holiday season.
No, I don't think anything. What I'm saying is, what I'm thinking Microsoft is going to have is a lot of big must-have titles set for 2015, but they're going to have playable where you can actually play it, not just videos of them. They're going to have some on-hand where you can get down the booth and touch these games.
Okay.
Where I'm thinking Sony is, you know what I'm saying, it's not going to have that. They're going to have titles. They're going to announce titles, but none of it is going to be playable. None of it is going to be actually seen real in-game footage. It's going to be mostly CGI wheels and just pictures and clips. And that's going to be that's why I'm saying they won't set the precedents that Microsoft is going to set because Microsoft is desperate. And I believe Microsoft is spending money. They're going to sew up some exclusives that we don't even know about. And I believe they're spending the money, like you're saying, and we both talked about. I don't think Sony has the cachet at this moment to make those type of moves. So I'm going off of that. That's a logical, but Sony could shock me. But right now, I'm thinking it's a Microsoft E3. And I believe Nintendo is going to really impress folks with this digital direct. I believe it's going to be totally different from Nintendo. This digital event, I think it's going to be totally different from a Nintendo Direct. But I think it's Microsoft's moment. I really do. I think as far as the two conferences go, I think it's a Microsoft moment. I think Microsoft understand where they at and what they need to do because if they don't do it,
if they don't,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I say that it ain't no middle spot for them. Sony, with what they have done, Sony can stand to not come so hard with this E3. They don't really even have to. They have the momentum. It's theirs for them to lose.
Right.
So
right. Yeah,
they can stand going through this E3, and they can kind of weather the storm because of what all took place. They can kind of roll through this E3 and you know what I'm saying, do enough to maintain the momentum or keep what, because they already established the PlayStation 4 as the system to get. It's the system on everyone's tongue. Microsoft has a lot of ground to make up, but they got the money to do it. And you best believe they don't like losing. And
they gonna spend that money.
They gonna spend that money. So
they spend that money.
I expect them to come swinging I expect them to come swinging that Louisville Slugger like
fight.
They're ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm predicting what I'm predicting. It's a logical prediction. But with that being said, man, enjoyed this conversation.
Always, brother. Always.
Look forward to the big convo with all the other people, Torrance Davis, John Shaw. Hopefully we get Triforce in there. And if y'all got some people y'all might want to get on there, you know, of course, Mr. L Live 08 gonna be there. Of course, Kbomb and myself will be there. But if y'all got any other people, I know some people want me to get Dr. Trey. Hey, let Dr. Trey know, hey, we doing this big podcast. If you want to be a part, get at me on Twitter or something, you know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to catch up with Dr. Trey. He don't respond to everything. So, anyway, with that being said, probably try to get Red Knight and S4Y in there as well. Sure. Let's do a big old thing, man, before E3. But with that being said, man, we finna sign out. You got anything else you want to say?
No, I'm just want to say, thanks, man. I'm enjoying every minute of it. And, I'm excited about E3. I'm excited about this big podcast, man. I'm excited to get it in and chew it up with my brothers. So I'm super amped, man.
All right. Like I said, we gonna do it that day. And, so stay tuned for that. E3 is right around the corner. So every gamer is excited right now. I can feel you can kind of feel
my Phil Collins in the background. That's what I need. We need to do some Phil Collins. That's what we need.
So it's gonna be. So before we get out of here, since Jack Trenton is gone, who gonna stand up there for Sony?
Oh yeah, they're gonna bring back the old dude from the commercials. He gonna come out there and do it.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I'm just playing. I don't know, man.
Oh, you don't know. Oh. Had me going for a second. I thought they had a fallout, like a big.
Yeah, they did, because he did a commercial against.
He did a Nintendo commercial.
Yeah, he did something like that, and they like, you can go on somewhere. Kevin Butler.
Yeah, I think he did it was a tire, Bridgestone or something.
Yeah, it was something like that, and they got rid of him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, man. Anyway, with that being said, man, we out. Continue to like, subscribe, leave your comments down in the comment section.
Comment.
Follow us on Twitter. What's your Twitter, Kbomb?
Kbomb20.
That's right. So that's twitter.com/Kbomb20. And y'all know mine is LeveledHead Game. No R on the end. LeveledHead Game. Follow us on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? We on there every now and again doing grown man stuff. So anyway, deuces!